I'm in the best relationship healthiest certainly relationship I've ever been in the best. But I still have a fear of, it's not just a fear of travel, it's a fear of like traveling with my partner. Because what if we get in a fight and we're in a foreign land? Like, I don't know. Or like, but also like, so what? When we fight at home, we work it out.
You got to resolve it.
Yeah. I think I have a fear of I'm pretty good at compromising, but I think because I compromised for so many years in easily the first half of my adult life of being in relationships and stuff, made myself so small in order to be loved, which was also a piece in my family too, I think, that now I had like a baby temper tantrum. It was really funny with Rory. And I don't know what we were arguing about. And usually I'm like, well, let's talk about it or whatever. And I started punching stuff. And it felt really good. I cut my hand even. I go, I just want to fucking do anything I want. I want to do anything I want all the time. And he was like, okay. I really fucking flipped out, but I have to say it felt so good. And I cut my hand and even that felt good. And I don't think he was scared of me, but I think he was just like, yes, and, whatever. And of course, I calmed down and we laughed about it, but it felt really good. I don't know if that was a healthy thing to do.
Well, I want to go back a little bit because you talked about making, I don't know if you've talked about this publicly or I heard you say it or we talked about it, but I think the tendency, one of the people in the relationship generally goes small, right?
Yeah.
I just think I'd probably say more of the time it's women. But I know 100%. I've gone small plenty. Yeah. So who knows who goes small. What do you think of it looking back? And do you wish, and if you had gone big, are you of the mind that if you'd gone big, the relationship would have been over in 3 weeks?
Yeah. And also it's like.
By going big, I mean asking for what you want when you want it. The same way they're doing.
I don't think anyone should go small. I don't know that anyone needs to go big, but live your life to the fullest, find your joy and go towards it. And sometimes that is not okay with the partner you're with. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you pick partners that aren't okay with it subconsciously because this is what you had to do in your family or this is some kind of dynamic that's familiar. And if you, especially with our parents and people that age and older, you watch them go towards things that are not what they want, but is what is their comfort zone. Like my stepmother was in a tizzy at all times, worried sick about someone in our family or something at all times.
And it was a lot of it was nonsense.
She didn't need to. She didn't need to. Oh, what if Samir doesn't get into Baba or what if, or one of our grandkids, she's what ifing for someone else.
Yeah.
And it's totally unnecessary. I go, Janice, you're worried because that's what's familiar to you, so it's comfortable. But you don't want to be in worry, and you don't need to. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, whether you worry or not. Worry when it's time to worry,
Yeah.
And she'd intellectually understand it, but all of us definitely are drawn to what's familiar over what we want.
Yeah. Did you get better at asking for what you want, or did you start going, I'm not asking for what I want?
And I don't need to ask for what I want even. It's not even like I want something from them other than
support. Yeah.
Emotional support.
Yeah. Or like a lot. Yeah. Not like I need you to.
I don't need
middle
money.
Yeah.
I don't need anything from you but love.
Yeah.
But I also understand that a lot of us in this business are also narcissists, children of narcissists, and we know we're children of narcissists, but we don't necessarily know that we're narcissists. So when you go, can you just support me in what I do? And if that takes up all the space and air in the relationship, that's a problem. Like I was with someone where I took no opportunities because I was afraid he would say, don't do it. And so I had to not do it or
he would explicitly say not do it, or he would
make it clear that he would rather I did not do it.
Was it because we're supposed to, that's a big week for me, or just like, I don't think would it be
The
a fake
reason was
reason
never
for
the real
you.
reason.
Give me the fake reasons that he, or that wasn't say they would give
He
you.
just wants to fuck you. You know, it's like, no, it's a TV show I'm being asked to go on, you know, like and also that's not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Turn down
also,
an
I'm not
opportunity.
going to fuck him just because he wants to.
Yeah,
Oh, well, if
also,
he
like-
wants to, then I have to.
I've also found that jealous people cheat because it would never occur to me to cheat.
Yeah.
In a million years, when I'm with someone, I have blinders on. I mean, look, I don't even pull out my sexuality unless it's with you. I mean, not that, you know what I mean? I'm free or whatever, but like, I don't see men in a sexual way at all if I am with someone.
You've been professionally asexual since '89.
And I'm sexual and I love.
Right. Backpacked up. It's kind of even the backpack was a little saggy.
Well, in the early days,
Yeah,
I was
we didn't know how to-
fucking everybody, and my backpack had Noxema in it, so I could wash my face wherever I landed.
I
so
love it.
I wouldn't say that the backpack is always that. But now in my adult life, like, yeah, no, I never, and I didn't cheat on people then. I would always say, like, hey, I am with, you know, when I'm with you, I'm with you, and when I'm not with you, don't worry about it. That was always what I said back then.
I love it.
I had so much prowess and I had so much power because I was young and hot.
Right.
And that changes over time. Now I'm 52 and a half and I have other powers and I have to lean towards those. You know, I've got other things. But boy, when you watch when women suddenly don't have that sex power, the young youth sex power, it can make them crazy.
It literally makes them. It's when it's the comedy version of when your closer doesn't close. When you think you're like, here's my closer, and then you do your closer and it doesn't work, and you're like, oh fuck. I literally don't know how to get out. And we're not naming any specific people who were hot and then it faded and they were lost. But like, this culture's full of them.
Oh my gosh.
They don't know what their identity is.
Instagram babies are, you know, they're going to hit a point.
Right. And the women that are 40 are fucking filling their face full of shit and their boobs and and it's like, it's
and then they
not
look 20 again.
Kind of.
No, they don't. They look insane. They look older.
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
they look plastic surgery years old is how old they look.
I mean, like, it's wild.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, I understand. After a time, like, I've been doing this in the mirror where I'm like, at some point I'm going to reupholster maybe. I have no judgment of that.
It's funny
I
when
think fillers and shit make you look crazy.
The older you get, you're like, well, no, I'm not going to do anything. And then you go, all right, maybe shots. And then you're like, all right, no more than 3 days recovery time. 1 incision, 3 days, no one, it's in care. Okay, so, and what do you think of those relationships where you were going small? And are you mad at the person or do you how quickly can you get to Sarah? You volunteered.
You can't blame the person because they're not consciously doing it.
Right.
I think if I approached any of those people, they would go, what? You know, because they were just surviving.
Right.
That was their survival. Make her feel small or make her feel like she's doing something shitty if she takes this gig or goes on this show. And then I take the path of least resistance. Now I'm so triggered by it that I'll do it and Rory will go, you're reacting to something I'm not putting out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true.
That's a lot of life, is that?
Huh?
A lot of life is that.
Of course.
It's
yeah.
like you don't want to go on vacation because your dad's going to, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
Your dad's dead.
Oh my God. Every vacation with my family was awful.
There you go.
I mean, it's so simple. Why didn't I realize
No,
that?
it's always the most obvious thing. It's always the Occam's razor of like, well, I couldn't. It's Dave Attell's joke. I'm afraid to travel. Maybe it's because when I was younger, my father beat me with a globe.
Yes.
It's one of the best stand-up jokes ever written. And it explains most psychology.
Yes, it does. It's really true. Every family vacation was my parents or my dad and my stepmother getting divorced. They hate each other. I mean, even when I was little, I remember being on my friend Julie Blinkensop's driveway in kindergarten. And she was talking about when I get married, I'm going to have this and this. And when I get married, and I remember saying, why would you want to get married? Like, why would you want to hate somebody that much? I thought getting married was two people fucking hate each other's guts. Because when I was little, my parents were married. I don't remember a smile between them. I don't remember them ever not being completely opposed to each other.
Do you remember the Mr. Show sketch? You might have been in it, where two guys are gonna fight. They're like, "I'll fuck you up right now."
What the fuck is your problem?
Watch where you're going, asshole.
Hey, just don't touch me.
And Cross goes,
Hey, I'm in it for the long haul. I'll marry your stupid ass.
and then they get married and they're just fucking scowling at each other. Dave and Bob. It's so fun.
I don't even remember that.
Karen Kilgariff, they kept cutting her going,
Fucking guys.
like, just like, this is what guys do. And then they die together.
You're a chicken shit. You're a pussy.
They're like on their death. It's so goddamn funny. But that's what
brilliant.
marriage was.
Yeah.
Like until pretty recently, and still probably is like a lot of the time. And okay, so you're not mad at your old relationships. You don't like hold them responsible. In the
Sometimes
Sure.
I'll start thinking it through and I'll go, but we're all out here just trying to survive and have good relationships and I'm sure things I've said to men have spiraled them out into oblivion too. You know, it's like we're just
Someone
we're just
wrote
earthlings.
a version of like, it's a human being's job to constantly underestimate the impact we have on other human beings. We're just constantly hurting each other and being hurt. And we're just like, yeah, I got to go on. I have to be somewhere. I have to be somewhere and just hurt other people and they're going to hurt me.
Also because I think, and this was a lesson, a conscious lesson for me, but like it never occurred to me that I could hurt a man. I didn't know I had the power to hurt.
When did it dawn? I mean, not like what was the event, but what age, what was the scenario roughly? Where you were like, oh, I hurt him and I'm an asshole in this situation.
Yeah. I don't know the moment, but there was a moment where I was like, and I think that's what it is with everyone, where you go, that hurts people's feelings or go, doesn't respond to someone's text or whatever. They don't care. They're not going to miss me if I don't show up. I mean, how many like gatherings or, kids' birth, whatever, parties or whatever do I say I'll show up to and then I don't show up? Almost all of them. And I go, they're not going to notice. They don't know.
We don't want to admit that we're hurting people.
Yeah, we affect people the way people affect us. And so there should be some feeling of responsibility, but we would have to think something of ourselves to think that we could affect anyone or hurt someone
or we don't want to admit how, that word can be bad.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to somebody the other day and she was like, one of the biggest human needs is the need to think you're a good person.
That's right. I mean, even like you hear actors who play villains and they will always like defend their character because you have to believe that they're somewhere in there they're good. Yep.
That's great when you can get there.
Right. But, like yoga or anything, it's a practice. It's all a practice. No one's good at it.
Hey, did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah, did you like it though? You want more? Don't want to work? Would rather watch videos of me grab-assing with people? First of all, go up here to subscribe and then go up here to watch more clips. This is like when the weatherman says that there's a high pressure system coming in. I'm not really used to the green.